Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paul, and I am a nerd, and you are lucky enough to be here for the July 2019 World Docs Virtual User Group meeting from Attorney Computer Systems. Got it all in one breath. Today we are talking about copying a single document to multiple locations. And that single document, by the way, could be a project file, so it could really be a whole bunch of documents in a project file, but copying them to multiple locations at one time. It's kind of cool. We just discovered this. We're going to show you. Mary Jo's going to take that topic. I am going to talk about PracticeMaster Integration. Maybe you knew it was there, maybe you didn't, but if you got PracticeMaster, it's pretty cool. And so now, without any further ado, I'm going to press a series of magic buttons to get me all the way out of here and into PracticeMaster so I can show that, and into World Docs so that Mary Jo can talk about copying a document to multiple locations.
Yes. So occasionally, I'm going to go back out to our favorite files here just because I know we've got some documents out here. And maybe, there we go. So we'll just go into my chosen favorites. I'm going to show those. And I've got some documents out here. So if I want to take a document and I want it to be stored under other matters, other locations in the same cabinet, I can do that by just selecting the document, right-clicking on it, and doing a send to. Now you might have used send tos before to send documents out to your desktop or to somewhere else for other reasons, but there is actually a send to link down here that says World Docs link WDL file in same cabinet. This will allow you to get a copy of that document into another location. So it's going to keep it and retain it in its original location, but it's also going to put it into another matter or cabinet file. So let's go over and click on that for a moment and see what happens. So I have the document selected. I've right-clicked and selected that send to. And then it's going to ask me, well, where do you want to do it? So we're going to add, and we're going to tell it where we want to move it to. So we can do our drop-down. You can do your, type it in, do your pre-fill, whatever it is that you want to do. Browse the client table, get to the right place that you want to save it, get to the right matter that you want to save it in, put it into estate planning, and you just say OK. It then will create that location, and that file will then be in there. So,
Go.
So we're going to go ahead and hit go. Process is completed successfully. And now we're going to go out there, and I put it under the medical place. So let's go out to direct access, and we're just going to go see that file out there now. So I did it under AB surgical. We did it in estate planning. And we're going to go ahead and say OK. And that document will be there. And there it is.
That's a project file. That's a link
project file. So it's linked. If I open that up, that will be in there. Now, if I had another project file that had lots and lots of documents in there, it would then just move that whole project as well. So you can do that.
So you could have created a project file and put a whole bunch of documents in it, and then
right-clicked it, and then sent it over, did a send to, and send it to where I want it to go. So that's the way to get everything, copied over to another place rather than have to go up and edit. And if you move it, it's moving it to that location. You don't want to do that. You want to kind of keep it where it was. So this is a nice little tool that's in there. Now, if you don't have that, let's say that you right-click on here and you go to send to, and you don't have this option for that. You can create that, and there is some syntax that you would need for that. So if you're interested in it and you don't see that on there, just let us know. We can get that over to you and what you have to do to create that send to. We can help you out with that. I believe if you're updated on the latest version, it should be there. But if it's not, give us a call. We're happy to help you set that up.
Yeah, and if you're nerdy enough and you go into the World Docs knowledge base and search for something in that title, then you'll find an article with the correct syntax in it, and you can build your own send to.
Sure.
Now, one thing I want to point out, Mary Jo, is that it looked like you were just copying it to one matter. But when she went ahead and selected that matter, it left her at this screen here and the matter was there, but then she could hit add and select another matter, and then add and select
Oh,
another matter.
yes, I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
missed that, yeah. So you could continue on, yeah, I'm sorry, I did totally blow by that. I was doing it to one, but he's right. If you wanted to go to add, we could say, all right, we're going to put it into, you know, Elliot Gesner in that matter, in his, that, and then you could add again, and then you could pick another place, maybe we'll just put it here, and you could pick another place, and so on.
Right.
And then, you know, you can check these and hit go, and it's going to go ahead and copy that into all those. Yes, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Paul. I just was doing a one-off, but yes, you can create multiple matters there to save that too.
Yeah, and we run into that a lot. I've seen that in the field quite a bit, where it's like, oh, I got to put this in all these different places.
Yeah.
Or, as Mary Jo said, maybe it's 12 documents that you got to put in 7 different locations. Well, put 12 documents in a project file, a briefcase, then move that briefcase to all 7 locations at one point. Pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
There you go, Paul.
Thank you, Mary Jo. I'm going to talk about this window, or this menu item up here called PracticeMaster. How did I get that menu item up there called PracticeMaster? I went to my PracticeMaster, went to Maintenance, Integration, and Toolbar Plugins, and I installed the WorldDocs plugin. By installing the WorldDocs plugin, which I'm not going to do now because I've already done it, I then get these options in PracticeMaster. And what can happen is I can take a document, I can go up here and I can create a calendar record that's tied to this document. I can create a fee record from this document. I can journal this document into PracticeMaster, a journal record that references this document. Or I can open the Matter Manager in PracticeMaster for whichever matter this document is tied to. Now, I'm going to see if I have any Michael Larson. I do not. So I don't really have any documents in here that are tied to PracticeMaster matters. But that's all right. If this matter were tied to Michael Larson's workers' comp and I clicked on PracticeMaster Open Matter Manager, what would happen is PracticeMaster would open up right into the Matter Manager for Michael Larson's workers' comp matter. And there it is. And so I would get this immediately upon clicking that button in WorldDocs. Very cool. Those of you that are integrating PracticeMaster in WorldDocs understand that in quick clicks, when you are in the client screen or down here by simply clicking on WorldDocs, I don't have it here, but there'd be a WorldDocs button, I can go from PracticeMaster to the document list for that matter in WorldDocs. This is the exact opposite. This is being in WorldDocs, looking at a document for a specific matter, clicking on PracticeMaster and Open Matter Manager, and going from WorldDocs to the Matter Manager for the document, the matter that document is tied to. Creating a fee record is simply a matter of billing for a document. So if I click on this, it's going to open up PracticeMaster and take me to a point where I can create a fee record, let's say for Michael Larson. Since that matter, that document wasn't tied to a matter, it's asking me to say who I'm going to bill. But if that document were tied to a matter, it would assume that I was billing that matter. Very cool. I can go ahead and choose his workers' comp. Well, I guess I don't have workers' comp in this sample system, but I can choose that matter. And there I am. I'm creating a fee record specifically for the matter that I specified or the matter that the document is tied to, if it is tied to a document. The other 2 options in here are to create a journal record. So this would be a note, if you will, in PracticeMaster about this specific document. And it would have a link in it to get back to this document. And then I can also create a calendar record, which again is a PracticeMaster calendar record for the matter that's tied to this particular document with a link back to this document. So 4 things that I can do from within WorldDocs by simply installing the PracticeMaster WorldDocs integration, the toolbar, into WorldDocs. Not to be confused with going into integration and getting into WorldDocs integration. This is I can't get in there because I've got other stuff running, but that's where you go to set up the integration between PracticeMaster and World Docs, as opposed to installing that little button bar into World Docs that gives you that functionality from within World Docs. Patty tells me about a question. It might even be a question from the other topic. Patty?
Yes, Paul, this is a question for Mary Jo. When moving a document, will it always become a project document?
Yes. And the reason for that is that if you want to move the document or copy the document, you can do that, but that's not really advisable, because then you've got, let's say you copy a document to 6 other matters. You now have this document, this physical document in 6 different matters, but it's total of 7 different copies. And so if you open one, you're not necessarily changing all of them. Whereas if you copy it and it makes a project file, or what we call a WDL or a World Docs link file, then when you go to any of those 6 matters that you copied it to and open up that document, you're actually opening the document in the original matter, and all the 6 WDL file links still point to that document. So you're, in this instance, when you do it that way, you're actually changing the one document as opposed to changing one of 7 that you've now created in 7 different locations. If you do want to copy it to 7 places, you'd have to do it one at a time, but you can do that. You can take a document and choose copy from the menus or copy from the button bar and copy it to another matter. And you can do that, a total of 6 times and copy it to 6 places. But not the best practice in my mind. There may be a use case that justifies that, or where that makes sense. But most of the time, you really want the single document to be pointed to, or to be located in all these multiple locations. Okay. That's it for today. Next month, we are talking about defaults. Our entire World Docs VUG next month is going to be about defaults. Default screen layouts, default column layouts, default cabinet, all sorts of different things that you can set as defaults and how you can manage those. And of course, if you've ever been here for one of our live events before, you know that I'm not going to let you out of here without first taking you to attorneycomputersystems.com. Notice the emphasis on the last S in the word systems, because without it, you don't get to the right place. This is where our video content lives. And if I click on the word video, I can also hover and choose one of these, but I'm going to click on it because that'll take me to a more expanded listing of all 6 titles. These are the 6 video titles that we have in our library, if you will. 4 of them are live, and 3 of the live series are VUGs, virtual user group meetings. You know that because you're in one right now. You're in the World Docs virtual user group meeting. We also have virtual user group meetings for tabs 3 and PracticeMaster. Very soon we'll have virtual user group meetings also for NetDocuments and CosmoLex. The VUGs are monthly. They are usually the last Monday of the month, at 1 for tabs, 2 for PracticeMaster, 3 for World Docs. And then we have our Coffee Pot webinar series, where I invite somebody in every month, a different person every month, from a company that has a product that offers value or enhances the value of one of our core products, tabs, PracticeMaster, World Docs, NetDocuments, and CosmoLex. That person will, introduce their company to us, introduce their product, demonstrate it, talk about pricing, talk about how it integrates with the product that we're looking at it integrating with, and then we get to ask them questions. Then we also have 2 pre-recorded non-live video titles. We have Mary Jo's eBytes video series, where she takes 3 things each month, 1 from tabs, 1 from World Docs, 1 from PracticeMaster. And these are things that we think are very cool, very important, and very easy and brief to explain. So these are 2 or 3 minute videos with something really cool that we can explain very quickly. For the things that take a little more digging and a little bit more of a deep dive, we have what we call the Paul and Mary Jo Show, where either I or Mary Jo will take a topic and spend 5, 10, 15, sometimes even 20 minutes getting right into the weeds and really digging deep into the broad nature of whatever it is that we're talking about at that particular time. So there you have it. A whole bunch of video titles. If we'll go into one of them, like the World Docs Virtual User Group Meeting, since that's where we are right now, you'll see that at the top of each of these, we have the actual title of the video series. We have a short description of the video series itself. We have, if it's a live event, information on the next scheduled event. So here's the August 26th World Docs Virtual User Group meeting and what it's going to cover, and a place to register right there. You don't have links anymore. We just have the fields right here, and you fill them in, hit the register button, and you're done. If you scroll down, you'll find recorded versions of all the ones we've done before. Now, this one right here is the one we're in right now, so it's not really right there yet, but it will be shortly. But as we scroll down, recorded versions of every other World Docs Virtual User Group meeting we ever did. Get to the bottom, you find there's 16 pages, and there's 5 per page, so there's a lot of them. There's even more tabs in PracticeMaster Virtual User Group meetings, and of course there's the e-bites and the Paul and Mary Jo Show. All in all, if you wanted to count, and perhaps you do, we have somewhere between 800 and 900 videos on our website. By the way, if you do count, please let me know how many it is, because I always say it's somewhere between 800 and 900, but even I don't know. These are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They are there for you free of charge whenever you want them, so please take advantage of them. There's a lot of valuable information there. That is it for today. Everybody have a good rest of the day and good rest of the month, and we will see you in August. Thanks much, everybody. Bye-bye.